June 20th, 2007. It's the evening of my 30th birthday. My mother, my friend Mike, my brother Billy, we were in the front yard when we suddenly noticed four kittens crawling out from underneath my mother's vehicle. One of those kittens was a small gray and white cat, very quiet. My mother took to him instantly, called him Gizmo. She was a little disappointed when it was determined that he was a boy. She thought he was too pretty to be a boy with his pink nose and those large green eyes of his. After a while, he kind of adopted me. He would follow me from room to room, watch everything I did. There was already a cat named Blondie, an orange Manx female, who was not happy that she had somebody competing with her for my attention. There were even a couple of times I caught him trying to follow me to work. Uh, there was a time when I worked at Big Lots between 2010 and 2017. The store was just 3 blocks from my house, so I could just walk down there, and I would catch him halfway to work following me, and I'd have to pick him up and carry him back to the house. We'd wrestle on the floor while Monday Night Raw was on. I taught him how to do high fives with the cat treats. That was something we would do every day. There was a little song that I made up for him, and sometimes I'd sing it to him. Mighty, mighty Beast King, roar, 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 roar. After Blondie took ill in 2015 and left, he became a great comfort to me, and he was there for me when my mother passed. And when it came time to leave my mother's home, I could only save one of the cats, and Gizmo was the one I chose to save. Though I wished I could have saved all three of them. So he moved with me to the new apartment. He was still my constant companion there. Always there to greet me with a high five. We've been through so much together too. 2 moves. That period when I was in 2018 where I was just so broke. You know, for Thanksgiving, I split a can of turkey Friskies with him for Thanksgiving. Yeah, there were times he could get a bit annoying, like when he would steal socks from the laundry hamper and put them in the cat box, or he would lay down on a book or magazine I was reading to get my attention. But I'll miss that too. I'll miss waking up with him perched on my belly and my back, thinking he was going to protect me from whatever it was out there that I needed protecting from. And then there was that fire last Halloween that really scared me. I was afraid I was going to lose him then. Tuesday, I got home from work. He was bleeding out his backside, and there was something hanging out of him. I took him to the nearest veterinarian. They wouldn't look at him because it was all technicians and receptionists there. So I had my neighbor drive me out to the Standerford Veterinary Emergency Clinic across town, and they wanted more money than I could afford to pay for the operation that he needed. So they referred me to another clinic down in Turlock, and even though they charged less for it, it was still more than I could afford. And I couldn't apply for care credit or scratch pay because I don't have a credit history. It both of my parents pretty much drilled it into my skull that you don't go into debt. And it turns out in order to have a good quote unquote credit history, you would need to get eyeballs into debt and have a history of paying it off. Because I couldn't wait to they couldn't wait to operate on him because he needed that, and if he wasn't going to get it soon, he would have died like that. So I was left with no other option. I had to euthanize. They asked if I wanted to be in the same room when it happened. I said yes. I th- I thought I could handle it. The 15 minutes they gave me to be alone with them, I broke down twice. Uh, the second time I did it, it was when he was reaching out for one more high five, and I lost it. I couldn't handle it anymore. Veterinarian came in with the needles. I held him while it was being done. Felt him go limp. Felt his last heartbeat. Tuesday night and all of Wednesday, yesterday was this heavy rainstorm. I had to wait for the rain to calm down before I could bury him, but I buried him. I ordered a little headstone for him. Wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. Now I gotta empty out the his pet bowl because the dry kibbles will attract the rats we have here in this neighborhood. I ordered a set of rat traps and some peanut butter and sunflower kernels to use as bait. I'll keep the cat paraphernalia because I might get another one in the foreseeable future, but not right now because I have a process to work through. And the thing about cats is that they're, like us people, they're individuals. So another cat won't replace Gizmo because there was no other cat like him. Grew up with cats most of my life and never had a cat like him before, never had a cat like him since. I won't have a cat like him ever since. So it's whoever I will end up with will be completely different. And it's something I have to cope with. The Rice family, they were gracious enough to allow me to bury him in on their side of the yard. Uh, so I buried him over there, close to the fence. Put a couple boards over the spot because there's some damage to the fence, and dogs might come through and try to unearth them. But I buried him about 3 feet deep, uh, and the hole's also pretty narrow, so the boards ought to do a good job. I suppose one side benefit of living in this neighborhood and being so close to the airport is he did get a flyover. You were my best friend, Gizmo. My buddy. My boy. My little hero. My mighty king of the beasts. I love you, boy. Goodbye.